I'm going to give you a scenario.
Yes.
Okay. Oh, actually, I think I'm going to start with this one because I think it kind of goes in line with how we just ended that conversation of people overcorrecting and being somewhat confrontational unnecessarily about things they maybe don't need to necessarily be so confrontational about.
Right.
All right. So this first scenario, is it bad that I ended a date after this accusation? So the person says, we started off the first date just fine. This is also a man speaking, a male. After we got a lot of the surface level chat out of the way, she started to ask very left field questions.
Left field.
Among those questions was, how do you feel about me having armpit hair? I was a bit weirded out by the randomness. I informed her that I don't mind stubble as long as it's well kept. I mean, we're human, we grow hair in places. But she goes to tell me hers is fully grown out and it threw me off more. Then I told her it wasn't necessarily a preference for me. She then goes on to tell me that my preference is rooted in pedophilia.
Whoa.
Calling me a pedophile.
Okay.
In my mind, I was like, WTF, rightfully so. The date ended shortly after. Am I wrong for ending the date? No.
No, not at all. And that goes back, we just said it, chronically online.
Yeah.
Right? Wow, like we addressed that entire scenario.
Yeah,
like,
I know
right
when I
before
saw that, I was like, because I picked these like a week ago. So
about a week ago.
a week ago. Fuck with us.
Right? You just can't stop.
Damn it.
Tweak it up. Tweak it out. Hey, yo.
Yeah, so that was funny that it literally like we didn't plan to talk about that.
Not at all. But no, yeah. Applying generalities, listening to this narrative and like really trying to demonize this guy that you're with. Like, did he give you any inclination that he was looking for children like that? No, but immediately it's like, I prefer my chicks hairless. Pedophile.
Like
that's such an aggressive thing to call somebody.
I think the issue here that this girl is doing is like taking these like general like concepts and like ideas or commentary on society and like where things can be rooted and then applying that to an individual.
Yeah.
Where it's like
micro.
Yeah, it's like that, whether or not like, okay, 100 years ago, the World War I or II happened. And so women started shaving because XYZ, because the razor brand, I forget what they're called. Gillette started marketing towards women because all the men were gone off to sea, so they need to make money. 100 years ago that happened. So now like
has nothing to do with pedophilia. So first of all, you're wrong.
Right.
And then second of all, you're applying things incorrectly.
Exactly. Or just like, or some like, because there's like also like the, theories about like, men liking hairless women because it like they look like children and like, try and make women look as young as possible. Men like youth and that being, and it's like taking these concepts that are being discussed about society and applying it to an individual when it's like really not his fault. Right. Even if like he was affected by society, you are affected by society by having this such like a visceral reaction to him, like to having this conversation. Also too, like, it at the end of the day, like, okay, that's just not your person, like you guys don't have to be together.
That girl needs to do a little self-work. And stop hating men so much.
Yeah. And then find a man who's like completely okay with your completely grown out hair. And there are men out there who find that perfectly okay. That is fine. It's one of those things of like, you have that conversation. He gave like an honest answer. And and I guess like that's like more advice to her. That's what she needs to do. But for him specifically, it wasn't wrong at all. Like she was making some really like talk about left field accusations.
Right, that is kind of crazy.
I
would probably open that up to conversation if that happened to me on a date.
Yeah,
I'd be like, pedophile. Why do you think that way?
Yeah,
and figure out what this girl's really about.
Yeah, I would be curious to see how that like would be fleshed out. Okay, I have another one.
I can read the next one.
Oh, yes, I did send them to you. Go ahead.
I'm gonna do the guy still lives with his ex.
Okay.
All right. Interesting. Yeah. I already have that title alone gives me everything I need to know. All right, let's see what she's talking about. So I have been talking to this guy for a month or so, and we are planning on meeting up soon. He lives about 2-hour drive from me. He said he isn't looking for anything serious, but he'll see how it goes. He told me at the beginning of April he broke up with his girlfriend of 2 years. So he's 2 hours away, and he has a girlfriend of 2 years.
Had.
Yeah. They had a dog together and bought a house together. Jesus Christ. Oh, a girlfriend? Okay.
2 years?
All right. Well,
that's red flags.
You know, red flags are just coming up as the more we talk about this. Right. But he had been renovating his house recently and told me that his roommate broke both her arms, and so he needs to help her out. And he wanted to wait to come visit me until she was more independent. He never mentioned to me that this roommate was his ex-girlfriend, though. Of course, I understand they got a house together, and with us all only being in our 20s, him buying a house, or him buying her, being in our early 20s, him buying her out or her moving away is difficult. It's not that hard, but I still don't know how to feel about it. He still has all the photos of them together on his Instagram, as does she, but on her Facebook, it still says she's in a relationship with him, whereas he says he's single. Ooh. I know people don't use Facebook as often, but she owns a social media marketing company. All right, damn, all these things, which makes me think she must use it somewhat frequently. I'm okay with him still being friends with her, but it's mainly the fact that he never told me the roommate was also his ex. Do I continue to talk to him? Is he still hung up on her? See, this is the problem with the internet, right? I have grievances. You are literally explaining why this is a bad idea. Yeah. In real time. You spelled it out to yourself before you typed this out. Right. And you still is he still hung up on her? Like, why do you want to deal with that?
That's not the real question here, right? Like, I don't think you need to be asking yourself that. I think there's no questions to be asked. Right. I think it's that, well, I don't know if this is just like her wording and maybe in person it happened differently or he said something different. But the fact that she knew that he had a girlfriend of 2 years and they had lived in a house together. And then she also knew simultaneously that he had a girl roommate because she says that, and maybe she didn't know at the time that it was a girl roommate. Right, so she just
wrote it wrong.
Yeah, I could. Okay. Cause maybe like I said, that could be a semantic thing, but if she knew, then that'd be like putting 2 and 2 together.
Right. Like he has a girl roommate and he bought a house with his ex-girlfriend. Who would that girl be?
Exactly.
If they bought a house together, why are you buying a house in your 20s?
Yeah.
Everything about this is kind of.
They could be people who like I know people who are my age who own a home. Like people that I went to high school with. Me too, actually. You know, like if you live in different, like we live in LA, like.
Are they married though?
Yeah, they're married.
Well, that's what I'm stressed out about.
Yeah, but you're saying like when people own homes, people do own homes. I mean, in their 20s.
The extension of that was, why are you owning a home in your 20s with a girl you're like, with a girlfriend? Yeah, like, that's kind of crazy to me. Yeah. Why are you buying houses together? You guys aren't married?
Yeah, I guess. I mean, but clearly, like at the end of the day, he was not honest with her. So anything that he could be saying, like, is like can't be believed in the sense that there's like a chance, because I have heard of scenarios like this of where like someone buys a house, their partner moves in, but they're not on the lease or anything like that, or on the buying, like they're not a part, like they're not invested in any way financially in the property. And so she is saying like, oh, what if like, I know it could be difficult to buy her out or for her to move away. It's like, you don't really know. She doesn't really know the scenario of like how financially invested the ex-girlfriend is in the property. Right. So like speculate about that. Like, it's just like neither here nor there. At the end of the day, he lied to you about it and clearly he has something to hide. Also to the fact that like their Facebook things say different things as like makes me feel as if like whatever his understanding and like how he maybe is like and her understanding of the situation are two different things. Yeah. And like that being very still another thing, red flag on his end of like things that like he could be feeling one way and not telling his ex-girlfriend. Like at this point, you don't even know whether she's an ex-girlfriend.
Right.
Like at this point, you can't even believe that they are no longer
And
together.
to that point, if this is the first time you're meeting a person, that's too much stuff to have to think about it. We're just talking about not burdening women.
Yeah.
These are burdens.
Yeah.
These are things that you do not have to be, you shouldn't have to be thinking about
Right.
on a first day with a person.
Well, it's not first date, but definitely within they've been dating for a month or so.
Oh yeah,
but
so
definitely within like the first month of all of these things.
It's more trouble than it's worth, in my opinion.
Exactly. Like you've only been dating a month, you will definitely find someone better. Like there's just
And like
no
assuming
need.
that everything is like in your favor and he doesn't like her, it's just a situation that he's in. It's not a situation that you should want to be in the middle of.
He clearly is not disentangled from his previous relationship enough to where he's even probably ready to be in a relationship in the first place.
Exactly.
So whether or not all those things, like he really likes you, like say he really like is into you, like all those things may be true, but he's clearly not disentangled from his previous relationship enough to
Even
to
try.
be. Exactly.
So yeah, leave that man alone.
Yeah, leave him be. Let him figure.
Alone.
Leave that man alone. Oh my gosh.